Monday.
Yeah, let's go over to the CNMI. Switch gears just a little bit. Where I don't know who's staffing you guys' quarantine facilities over there in the CNMI, Tomas.
Well, you're giving me a lot to work off of there, Chris, so we'll continue to ask those questions too. As the cases increase here too.
Right. So let's take care of official business. He's our man on the COVID beat for the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Tomas Manglona, good morning.
Good morning. So here's the latest on containing COVID in the CNMI. Saturday, the CNMI announced its total COVID cases is now up to 21. A press release by the CNMI Office of the Governor says the 2 new cases on Saturday are of a 31-year-old male and 22-year-old female who are both asymptomatic and contacts of previous COVID-19 cases residing in the CNMI. They're both now isolated at the Kanoa Resort facility. And some news for residents and viewers on Rota and Tinian. The COVID-19 testing initiative is now expanding to Tinian and Rota starting today. The COVID-19 task force on Saipan also allows for group registrations for businesses with 50 or more employees. Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation CEO Esther Muña tells KUAM last night that testing on Rota and Tinian can test up to 94 people a day on each island. Testing locations on Rota will take place at the Benjamin T. Manglona International Airport or the Rota Health Center. Residents on Tinian will be tested at the Tinian Health Center. CHC and Saipan temporarily suspended testing registration in an effort to expand its staff and equipment to provide a more sustainable process. The CNMI Governor's Press Secretary Kevin Bautista tells KUAM that any positive cases on Tinian and Rota will be med-evacuated to and treated on Saipan. And some news from the NMI Congressman Kilili's office as the cases rise in the CNMI. He says that $4 million has been awarded to CHCC on Saipan for testing and tracking. The CDC awarded about $4 million to the hospital to enhance the local public health testing infrastructure. Congress made these funds available through the Paycheck Protection Program and Healthcare Enhancement Act. The award is expected to be disbursed no later than May 23rd to develop testing, conduct surveillance, and trace contacts. And some news from the CNMI legislature today. The House Committee on Commerce and Tourism will hear a presentation by the Governor's Economic Task Force at 10 a.m. presenting their recovery plan. As we reported prior, the target date to open tourism is on July 15. That House Committee on Commerce and Tourism presentation is going to take place at 10 a.m. at the House Chamber on Capitol Hill. And the Governor is expected to have another press briefing this morning through a local radio show at 8 a.m. Again, the CNMI Governor Rob Torres has been holding press briefings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday through this local radio show at 8 a.m. Just to wrap up the report, and just to wrap up here, I wanted to provide the latest numbers to our viewers on COVID-19 in the NMI. The cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 cases again stands at 21. The number of persons released from the quarantine is 414. Number of deaths remains at 2. And the cumulative number of recovered cases is 12, and so that leaves us with about 7 active cases in the CNMI. And lastly, as of May 16, the cumulative number of specimens collected through the Community Testing Initiative is 3,339. Of course, we're expected to see more people get tested as testing initiative is now expanded to Rota and Tinian starting today. Bring Chris.
Well, sounds like a big day over there at CNMI. So these press conferences are handled through a radio station and not the governor's office?
Yes, the hosts of the radio show say that they just want to be able to help the governor's staff with holding these briefings, so he's agreed to have them, at least for now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday through 8 a.m. At 8 a.m. through this. So we're given the Zoom link, and the other media are able to go on the show and just ask the questions, and then the recording is sent to us.
Who's controlling the Zoom link? Is it the governor's office?
It is the radio show, KKMC.
So the governor's office doesn't have the ability anymore because they did it before to do the Zoom link. I remember when they had that press conference so many moons ago.
Yeah, and so that's the new setup now, and you know, a lot of reporters are jumping on it just to make sure that their answers, you know, their questions are answered. And right now, it's looking like that's going to be 3 days a week.
Was there an explanation given as to why the CNMI governor is using a radio station to hold official press conferences for the governor, as opposed to not hosting it themselves?
Well, you know, Bree and Chris, I'm still pouring through those documents, but we're also seeing that the radio station might have been contracted by the government also as well. So in a way, maybe this is technically government run if they do have that contract. I believe it might have been around $10,000. I can double check on that. But we're going to continue to dig into those numbers. I'm going to ask the governor today at 8 a.m. about the hotel contracts. This is something that the GAR on Wednesday here, Patrick Guerrero, or Tuesday at last week's legislature committee meeting, was talking about the different amounts for the different vendors and things like that. So we're going to get the governor on the record this morning at 8 a.m. On the different contracts.
Okay. Are they online or any of these?
They're being circulated online. I've had a few members of the legislature send it my way, and so we're going to get them on that, and then we're also going to get a member of the legislature on the record for a story tonight reacting to the contract.
The ones you've seen, are they signed?
The ones I've seen are just a spreadsheet of the cost.
I see.
Nothing beyond, nothing as in depth as a contract. So we're going to wait on that and see if we can get, you know, exactly what everyone else is looking at in terms of when they were signed and under what authority.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tomas.
Yeah. So I read something. Are you going to be also tracking down like restaurants and businesses as they start to think about gradually reopening?
Yeah, that's right. So today, I think it's for tomorrow, but for today, I'm going to be interviewing late this afternoon 2 restaurants. As the governor releases the plans for reopening, we're going to talk to these restaurants about, you know, how comfortable they are with everything that's going on and what their new operations are going to look like. Obviously, everyone right now is still doing takeout and curbside pickup, and I will be speaking with one bakery and then one restaurant who a lot of tourists also visit, and so with the target date set for July 15, we're going to talk to these owners and folks at the restaurant on how comfortable they are and what their plans are to kind of, you know, return to whatever this normal is now.
Right. I mean, what I want to know, Tomas, is maybe if you could get some documents, find out how the COVID has affected the CNMI's exporting of the blueberry cream cheese bread.
You know what?
Yeah, that's so good.
Chris, do you want to contract me? I can send that to you.
We know the ice khaki is still flowing, but we're concerned about the blueberry cream cheese bread. One of Saipan's top exports.
I've been to Hawaii, and they have plenty there. So soon.
Plenty. Okay.
What's the other one that we get that Juan Carlos sent us?
That's from Harvest.
Oh man, that is so good.
They have a taro bread there that's purple.
Yeah, those are the 2 favorites, and they're still making it. Those places are still open, so people are able to pick them up. So.
You know, care packages are, you know, nice.
Yeah, Tomas, you send that back with your story, or it might not run.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, and also, you know, I know we shouted you out on your grad, but I saw over the weekend that what was it with your schooling? They had did they have like a virtual grad? Because there was a lot of virtual things going on.
Minecraft. It was a first. I mean, I don't even use Minecraft, but that was interesting. And you know, speaking on that, I reached out to the Commissioner of Education here because graduation season for the public school system here in the CNMI is, you know, going to start. And some of them are having drive-through graduations. So I want to be sure to be there and cover it because the plan is that the high school students are going to drive to this huge parking lot and only about 2 at a time will go to the stage, of course, socially distant from their car. And so I think that's, you know, that's a great story and a great way to celebrate the class of 2020 in high school. So
we had a question here, Tomas. Sorry, can you ask Tomas how can I get a birth certificate from Rota?
Is this person on Rota or
no? Without leaving Guam, sounds like they're here.
Oh, I see. Well, I would probably suggest that they call the Rota Health Center. That number's online, and that's the place where you can get that. Is my understanding. So, Rota Health Center is the place for that. And if this is somehow COVID-19 related, or you know, if it's with regards to travel or getting tested, I would definitely call the hotline depending on where you're getting tested. So the hotline can definitely help you with that. And I'm assuming because it's a birth, you know, I don't know what this viewer is exactly asking, but if it's to get tested and you need an ID, it can just be any picture ID. So if that's what you're asking, it can be any picture ID. It doesn't need to be that specifically. But otherwise, Rota Health Center and COVID-19 info line would be helpful.
I just wanted to get you excited because I know you're a Rota boy, so.
Well, you know what? I hope I can make it there soon and cover what's happening on Rota and Tinian especially. So
Right on. Maybe you could be like the reverse island hopper and go to Rota and then jump over to Guam.
Yeah. We'll see. Star Marianas, also postponed their flight, so May 22nd is their new target date. So we'll see how travel goes between the CNMI, within the CNMI. So.
Okay, Tomas, we got to grab Mary Rhodes real quick on the Roosevelt.
All right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Wash your hands.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Tomas Manglona, 7:08. We'll take a little break, and we got Mary Rhodes coming on to talk about the Roosevelt. There's been some new developments with the Theodore Roosevelt. Just looking at a story here. Got eyes on a release, Bree, that more than a dozen USS Theodore Roosevelt sailors test positive for coronavirus a second time. All right, so we're going to talk with Mary Rhodes, find out about the whole process that they went through with the quarantine, and what is these the latest news here out of the Roosevelt? What does it mean for us here beyond the fence line?